Hey guys, so we needed to make some laundry soap, so I figured I'd bring you along. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but just never had the time to do it because I didn't have the camera or anything like that. I had the phone, but the phone only does like 10 minutes, and I don't know how long this video will run. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Do stuff like this as much as I can, you know, with the time allotted. We just kind of do everything that that inspires us, or anything that I think can help people. So I'm making a liquid laundry detergent. You can also make this in a powdered form if you like. I'll bring you along, show you, what I do. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I just do it the way that works for me. And I'm actually doing a little bit differently today. So if I screw up, at least you know kind of what happens and all that. So a couple of the ingredients are Borax and the Laundry Booster Super Washing Soda. I've used that, been using this for a couple years now, been making it. With this way I'm doing it now, I'm not exactly sure how much it'll cost, but I'm gonna start using this because this is actually pure Castile soap, and you can actually use this by itself, but it's a little expensive to do that in your wash. I've been using this because it's already pre-shredded for you. It's basically 2 bars of soap, so it's little flakes. And then I'm also got a Dr. Bronner's bar soap, which is about $4, anywhere from $3 to $5. Sometimes you can find it cheaper. But I'm using this because it's pure Castile soap, and then on top of that, they put a pretty good amount of essential oil in it, so it smells really good. And that's one thing. The wife was like, we need some more scent, so I'm like, all right, let's try this and see how it works instead of adding it later on. So the ingredients on most sites will say 1 to 2 cups of this, 1 to 2 cups of this, and then about maybe a cup or 2 of this. But since I make a big 5-gallon jug of it, I typically do about 1.5 cups to 2 cups, sometimes 3, depending on how I feel. I actually ran out, so I only was able to do about a cup. I added both ingredients together, and then I'm doing about a cup because it was a 1 1/3 cup, and this is at 2 1/3 cup. So there's 2 cups of the wash soda, and then I'm going to do this plus this plus this. This is kind of be a little overkill, but since the job I get pretty oily in the railroad, so we need a little bit more soap, and so that's why I'm doing this. And then we're gonna add about maybe about 2 cups of this in there, and then we'll mix it all together. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is get your flakes of any soap that you choose. You just want to get a bar soap. You don't have to get this. You can get, let me see. I used to use this, but it didn't seem, and sorry for the noise. You can get these soaps, Ivory. You want to get non-scented soaps unless it's natural, like the Dr. Bronner's. The Dr. Bronner's is all natural ingredients, so that's why I got it. But the other ones, they're typically not natural, so you want to get unscented bars of soap. Castile soap is the preferable one because it's more of a natural soap. But you'll put this in here. You'll have boiling water, and then you'll mix it in until it's all mixed in really, really well, and you can't see any more flakes as best as your ability. Now, I recommend just getting the Zote because it's already shredded. You don't have to use a cheese grater or anything like that. You want a big as pot as you can get. This is the biggest one we have. So typically, for one box, you want about about a gallon. maybe 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons. So if you have a really big pot, I recommend just boiling that big pot like that. And you know, this saves time. They're cheap. I think they're like $1.50. I'll leave links down below for you so you can see. Sorry about moving around so much. So we'll go on and mix it all really, really nice. It's gonna clump up. It's gonna get all mushy. So just, you know, keep working with it. Keep it boiling. And then once that's done, you'll pour it in the 5-gallon bucket. Let me get this all done, and then we'll go from there. I'll show you the next steps. I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna pour the mixture in now. So before I do that, what I'll do so you can get a better mixture is all your ingredients, your dry ingredients, go on and pour in here. And then I'll pour this in here as well. Then we'll pour this in here. Then after that, so this is roughly only 1 gallon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this up 3 more times, pour it into the 5-gallon bucket, and that'll give me roughly about 4 gallons, which you don't wanna go all the way to the 5 because this will expand. So let me fill this up and then we'll go to the next step. So this is roughly 4 gallons. I had to do it again because I didn't fill the bowl, the pot up enough. So that's roughly 4 gallons. So then you can do one of 2 things. You can leave it like this, leave it overnight for about 24 hours, give or take, and then mix it. I like to mix it now and then mix it again, just so I know it's mixed very well. Another thing I forgot to mention is when you fill this up, you want the hottest tap water that you have, because it'll mix better and everything else. And then I forgot to add this, so I'm gonna add about maybe 3 cups of this just to help. I also, sorry for the noise. I also use this as well. This is a really good stuff. It's hard to beat, but if you want to go as natural as possible, just use baking soda, and then you can actually add a little bit of vinegar to your wash if you wanted to. But this should be fine. This, like I said, this is a little overkill. So if you have a husband or kids or a wife, whoever, your significant other that gets a little dirty from work, or your kids, you know, this will be pretty good. All you're going to need afterwards is just this scoop right here on even an extra large wash. All you're gonna need is maybe a cup, for extra large washes, if you got really dirty clothes that are stained, maybe 2 of these, but typically all you need is about 1/2 to 1 of these, and that's it. A little bit easier, you can also use just 1 of these. The other thing is, you can get 1 of these at, you know, any store. Just get the cheapest one that you can find that's free and clear. And then after about 24 hours, you mix it. You wait a little bit later that day. You'll add 1/2 of water and then 1/2 of this to it, and then shake it every time you need to use it. And that's pretty much it. You can also use the lid, because they are a measuring cup. So you need about maybe a full lid to 1/2 a lid, depending on your load. Or you could also do what we do, and where is it? You can get 1 of these. So we got this from Costco. They have them in other brands as well, and they're usually like $10 or something like that. and you just fill it up, and then you can just have it like that. Usually the cup comes with it, and you don't, but you still want to shake it up. You always want to shake it up. That's the main thing, is always shake it up. Always half of water and then half of your soap. If you find out that this is if you want to experiment and you find it out that it's a little too strong, get another 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with half water, and then dump half, and then fill this one up with half. That's kind of what we do sometimes, depending on our mood and how we make it, because I'm always experimenting. So I'll leave a spreadsheet of how much all this stuff costs, how much it'll cost you if you use what we used, or if you use essential oil or non-essential oil. So you might be wondering, how do I use just powder? Because the powder form is a little bit easier. You don't have to do all this work. So what you'll do is you use 2 cups of this, 2 cups of this, 1 to 2 cups of this. You can always use this separately and add it as you're washing. And then you'll, we don't have any big containers. You'll get a container like this, you know, something a little larger. And if you can, try to get one that are sealable, because it will harden up. And you just mix it really, really, really well, and then use maybe 2 tablespoons per wash. If you got a really dirty wash, then you'll use maybe 4 tablespoons. But that's pretty much it. So need to mix this up. The wife brought me this, so we have this. This is just a little bit of extra for us. You don't have to actually mix it this well, but we do. You get a drill, any drill that you have, plus a paint mixer, and then you'll mix it up. So I'll kind of show you what we do. Typically we use our electric drill, but we can't find it, so this one's okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I made a little bit of a mess, as always. My wife wants me out of the kitchen. Don't ya? Now, no. So, but that's pretty much it. I'll leave a spreadsheet of everything, of how, what you need, and, you know, how to do everything, whether it's the liquid or the powdered form. There's another way you can do it, as like the little tablets as well. I don't care to do that. I like the liquid because this liquid is also good for high efficiency machines, HE machines. So if you have a high efficiency, you can try this out. You can make a little bit of a smaller batch. So if you make, say, a gallon, just divide it by 4. But I'll leave everything in the description of everything. We're looking, I'm actually going to be making laundry softener, a fabric softener here in a little bit. So I'll leave the link for that video when it posts. All right, so when I was doing post-processing on the video, I kind of left it as, you know, after that you mix it, blah, 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 after 24 hours. But then I kind of realized there's a lot of other videos out there that kind of show you how to do this, but they don't actually show you what happens after the 24 hours. They don't show you what to kind of expect. They don't show you how to, you know, add it, what it's going to look like, you know, so on and so forth. Then I remembered back when I first started this, it's like, you know, is it supposed to look like this? Is it supposed to be like this or that? How can I mitigate it or whatever? So I was like, you know what? Let's go on and show everyone what it's like after 24 hours. So this is what it looks like after 24 hours. It's going to be basically just solid. So what happens is after you let it sit, it actually soaks up a lot of the water. All right, so I got my mixer, and if you put it in, you can kind of see, it's a hair. Ew, when I get there. So, and then there's a lot of water on the bottom. So I might have to just show you how thick it gets. So see, it's way, this is actually all the way at the bottom. So I meant, if you actually have it all the way at the bottom and there's barely any water left, then that means it's a good mix. Sometimes when I first made it, it would only be like this thick, and then the rest of the water would be on the bottom. You want as much soap in this as possible. So there's not really any water. There's still water in here, but the soap itself is all the way at the bottom. So that means it's a really good mixture, and I did real well. Sometimes you won't get that, sometimes you will. So this is a good mix. So all I got to do now is mix it really, really well, and then take some, put it in the bucket, you know, half water, half of that. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm gonna mix this real quick, and then we'll go further. All right, so now I don't know if you can really tell, but now this is pretty much a pure liquid, and it's just soap. So it's your laundry detergent. So that's actually really, really nice. And it actually has that green tea smell. It's actually pretty strong. I didn't think it would be that strong being diluted as much as it is. Like I said, I'm doing something a little new. So, but yeah, the tea tree from one little bit of bar of soap, it's quite a bit. So it smells pretty good. So let's add it to the bucket. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. All right, let's add about half of water. So I actually forgot what you should do. Add that water. Add the water first to it, and then add your soap. So add half of your water first. That way you don't get any bubbles or anything like that. So that was my fault. So anyway, I don't know if you can see me if I'm out of frame. So anyway, this one is really nice. You just gotta mix it up really well. We gotta find the lid for this one. She said it's behind the dryer. So that's pretty much it. You just do that. And then once this runs out, every time you use it, try to just shake it up a little bit, mix it, because the water and soap will separate a little bit, but not much. And but that's every time you do a wash. If you do it, say if you wash like 4 or 5 clothes, 4 or 5 loads, just you shouldn't need to shake it more than once in a day. But if they're like in between, very far apart, and you start pouring, and all you do is just mostly see water and no soap, shake it up. And then this will continue to harden and stuff. So once you have to go back and fill this thing up, you mix it again, half and half. And then once you run out, then do the process all over again. I started working on a thing last night. I'll have everything broke down on the screen of basically how much it costs to make in 5 gallons. I'll try to have something right here, and then I'll have a spreadsheet or something that you can look at and see how much everything costs. It's going to vary per where you're at, and especially during what's going on right now, things change. I'll try to leave links to everything if I can. If not, you may just have to find it wherever you can. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, if you have any recommendations. We're looking for more ideas. We appreciate if you subscribe or like our video, because we like doing stuff like this. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do what inspires you. Thanks.